Someone's about to sell you an AI agent for a few grand and hand you a chatbot. Same word, wildly different thing, and the gap ends up being your money. So there's one question that exposes it right on the spot, and most salespeople fold the second you ask it. So today, how to tell what you're actually buying, what it should really cost, and the test that ends the sales pitch in about 10 seconds.
Hey guys, I'm Paul.
I'm Ryan.
Welcome to the Blueprint Automation Systems. Welcome back to the AI Dictionary, where we are working really hard to put one piece of AI jargon into plain spoken English every week, specifically for you small business owners who are out there. Last episode, we worked on how we talk about putting AI onto your phone system, the voice agent. Today's a little different. This one's really about being a savvy buyer in a business enterprise aspect. Because all of the following words, chatbot, assistant, agent, they're getting slapped interchangeably on everything, maybe to jack up the final price that you pay. So we're going to do the best we can today to hand you a beep beep BS detector. So the next time someone pitches you a bot, you know exactly what you're looking at and whether it is worth what they're trying to get you to pay.
All right, so 3 words, 1 question. Does it talk or does it do? Right? A chatbot is kind of the scripted one. It's almost like a flow chart. You click a button, you get a canned answer. If you go off script, it'll pretty much dead end and fail. It's cheap, it's dumb, and it's fine for a lot of tasks like a basic frequently asked questions answer tree or something along those lines.
No. An assistant is actually the smart talker. This got the brain behind it. It's an LLM. Way back in episode 2, it understands real language, answers almost anything. Remember about hallucinations on that you've trained it on, but it only answers. It hands you the words and then stops. An agent actually does the thing. It's the assistant wired into your systems. It can book appointments or calls. It can send emails, right? It can put updates out to the world, look stuff up. Episode 3 was the whole teardown on those.
Yeah. And basically, there's almost like a little bit of a ladder there, right? So if you talk off of a script, you talk smart, or actually go do the work, there's 3 different disciplines there and 3 different AI tools to help you get those things done, right? So now here's where they get you. So here's the dirty little secret of this whole market. Agent, and I am air quoting that on purpose, agent is the word that sells, right? Alongside AI, right? AI agent is the buzzword and everybody wants one because they believe they need one. And so everything gets called an agent. A scripted chatbot from 2019 with a fresh coat of paint, it's now an AI agent. Congratulations. It's the same flowchart underneath. It's the same logic decision tree. You ask this specific question, you get this specific answer. But everybody's now packaging it up and saying it runs on AI. And that's kind of the other line to watch for. It means nothing on its own. A calculator runs on math. It tells you 0 about what the thing can actually do for you.
Why does this work on most people? The owners, you're not necessarily going to look and see and understand what is under the hood. So you end up buying the label or the name, and then the label that they'll pay the most for right now, today, July 2026, is an agent, right? This is what we all want. We all want some version of Jarvis.
Yeah.
Agent has become the word for Jarvis. Chargers?
Chargers.
So you get the price of an employee that does the work, and you get a robot that just talks, a very, very simple LLM, or worse, that just clicks buttons.
Yeah. And this isn't us being cynical. It's the single most, well, all right, fine.
All right,
it's the single most common way owners are overpaying for AI right now. Yep. And the fix is stupidly simple. And that's next.
The test that we're going to talk about has a bit of a fork in it. Which side you're on depends on who's selling. This part matters, so hang with us for a minute, okay? Principle is the same either way. Make them prove they can actually make an AI do things, not just talk to you. The real ones have something to show. The pretenders have slides. Case number one, an off-the-shelf product, a platform that you sign up for that's already built. Here you can be blunt. Show me the thing it does live right now, here in front of me. Make it, book the appointment, send the email, update the record while you are watching. This product already exists, not a bad thing, but if they can't run the entire core action live, it's make-believe or it's a chatbot kind of dressed up in a superhero cape. It's just a costume.
That's right. Yeah. And case two, right, is the builder. So someone you're hiring to build a custom system for your business. That's a different story. They're not going to have your exact agent ready at the first kickoff call, and you really shouldn't expect that. Custom means it gets built specifically for your needs. And frankly, no two builds are the same when you're talking to a custom builder.
I was gonna say, well, brick and mortar add on to that point, this is vital, right? I don't have a problem with off the shelf. That's what we have always worked with.
Yeah.
20 years of running a business, it's all been off the shelf, right? For the most part. Even if you get a new website made, they're taking a wireframe that gets used, a template in the industry, and they're plugging your information in. That's not a bad thing. However, when we get into this type of AI agent world, this is where I feel like, ponying up, paying a little bit more, make sure the person knows what they're doing, and getting a custom built agent ends up being the long-term play, because then it is to your system, to your business. And I don't necessarily have a problem with off-the-shelf stuff, but this world, I'd be a little hesitant or a little slow to pay that premium for something like that.
Sure, yeah. And if you really do need a custom solution built specifically for you, when you're working with a builder, ask it this way. Show me a real system you've already got running, whether it's yours that you use or another client's. It won't match exactly what you need exactly.
Right.
Exactly too many times, but that doesn't matter, right? You're checking on one thing. Can this person actually make AI do a thing? Can they build using AI, or however they build it? Can they actually build something that they're talking about, right? I can talk about AI all day long, but if I can't actually build it for you, then that's not somebody you want to work with, right? And a good builder will light up at that. Like, they want to show you their cool stuff. They want to show you, oh, I have this agent that answers my phones, or I, built a
video.
I built a video editing pipeline so it'll edit video and post it online for me, and things like that. And I love showing that off and showing people that stuff, right? But that pretender builder who's just really good at talking the talk, or they watched a bunch of our YouTube videos, other YouTube videos too, but like watch some YouTube videos and they can talk the talk a little bit. And if you ask them to show you something, their own pipeline running, and they're gonna slowly back away, make some excuses. I don't have that ready. Oh, it's on our roadmap, and let's schedule a follow-up call to run through that demo, right? Like, anybody, any builder, any custom builder worth their salt should come prepared to any meeting to be able to show you a sample of something they've built, even if it's not specific for your company.
And if you need an analysis to this, right? Like, we've probably all dealt with some sort of contractor for your home or your business, right? And it's, okay, what's your portfolio?
Yeah.
I don't want their front desk. My space is different. My need is different.
Right.
But I want to know the ones that you have built, or what's your kitchen build look like, right?
Yeah.
I want it to be mine. I don't want theirs per se, but maybe certain elements you want to pull out.
Sure.
But the things that they have built, have you ever talked to a carpenter? They're really excited to show you their portfolio.
Oh, yeah.
They're really, because they're proud of it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And they have before and after, so you can see what it looked like before and what the after is.
Right. The Ryan's, the
Command center?
Yeah, the command center. We did a short video of the command center that you built out, and you can go watch the video, guys. Yeah. Like that's something that's been built out for this business that we're starting here, right? And I'm very excited to take that command center and plug it into my academy with the understanding that it's got to change.
Right.
My martial arts school and this business don't run the same.
Right. Exactly.
So the frame may be similar, or the needs for some things might be similar, but there's going to be stuff I have to custom built out. We have all these programs that doesn't exist for this business.
And most custom builders, if they're worth their salt, they're building all of those things in a modular fashion, right? So if you've seen the other video, I've got a command center and it has a bunch of different modules in it that do things. And when we roll it off to the dojo, it probably doesn't need my big, massive, long form video editor, but he definitely wants my auto shorts poster, right? Yep. So there's definitely any builder that's out there selling themselves should have something that they can show you doing cool things.
Yep. So we poke at this off script, right? Say something weird. A real system should be able to bend. A dressed up chatbot will faceplant the second you color outside of the lines. We talked about AI voice agents, and I had a friend test it, and he immediately went, here's the voice agent. He didn't go outside the line. He jumped way over here. Yeah. I won't even say the topic he was talking about. Right. We'll get fined or something like that.
Yeah, probably.
But it was not, the system was not trained on that.
Had nothing to do with martial arts and all that.
Had nothing to do with normal human behavior as far as I'm concerned, frankly. But for a builder, the next step is actually very small, right? A scoped pilot where one slice of your business gets added on before you do that next big build. Proof that you can actually touch, metaphorically speaking, before you commit to a whole giant thing, right? Yeah. Like I said, I might have a contractor redo my bathroom before they redo the house or the kitchen or whatever else it is.
Yeah, exactly. Break something off that is happening in your business that you absolutely, well, you've vetted and you know it should be fixed with AI or some sort of automation. And there might be 25 things at your company that you could leverage AI for. Just take one and have them build that first and make sure that they can perform before you pay them a large retainer or whatever for a much longer term build. It's just like you said, contractor is a great example of that.
And we do this stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So we're the ones telling you guys, like, here's how to avoid the charlatans that are out there. Again,
yeah. If you come to us and ask us to build something for you, I would hope you would ask us, show us something.
Ask us all the same questions.
Right.
We're putting on video for you guys.
Granted, I've done it on video already. So, but either way, hopefully you get the picture there.
Right. Rough map. So when you know when the numbers just way outside the ballpark, right? This isn't a pricing sheet. It's more of a gut check. So your gut is based on survival instincts. Sorry, self-defense instructor talking here. You don't have instincts in this world. It's new. And that's okay, right? Don't feel pressure. This is why we're making this video series, right? So a scripted chatbot, LLMs, they're very inexpensive, right? Tens of dollars a month. You can probably stand them up for free. It's a flow chart. Press 1 for this, press 2 for that. Sure. Don't let anybody bill you $100, $300, $500 a month for this stuff. It's not rocket science.
No, absolutely not. Now, what is, and where the pricing starts changing, is a smart assistant, right? And so maybe it's a chat widget on your website that actually talks with your clients. It's a bit more price-wise, but it's still actually fairly modest. That underlying AI is getting really close to being a commodity now. Right. So typically, there's a little bit more setup up front, so you'll probably have typically like a setup cost or initialization or that initial setup fee and to build out. And the reason why is because in order for that smart assistant to operate properly, there's training that needs to happen before you stand it up, a proper second brain, so it knows what you know and it can take action for you. And that's why there's typically a setup cost up front and then still a fairly modest low monthly fee after that.
Yeah, and a recurring fee. So effort to build, fairly small recurring fee just to keep it live, updated if you have changes you have to make.
Yeah, and ultimately, right, training just like your employees, right? It doesn't really just stop after that first week. I mean, there's jobs where you train somebody in a week and it's pushing the same button over and over again, but typically there's always some sort of course correction training along the way, and you want to do that with your AI agent as well. So sometimes it does make sense to, have somebody on retainer that knows what they're doing, and they can, out of the 100 phone calls this agent made for you, 2 of them went a little off the rails. Let's train the agent or the assistant so it doesn't do that in the future.
Let's talk about the flagship, the self-driving Tesla, right? A real agent actually wired into your system, your calendar, your CRM, your phone. This does cost real money, right? This is a fair amount of labor to set up. Like it is laborious. Connect everything together. There's a monthly run to it, meaning it's going to have a monthly, like a person has to be on top of it, people have to be on top of it. That is completely fair when somebody expects to get paid for that, because integration is the actual hard work. It takes time to pile all that together. Yeah. So it's not a ripoff to say that like agents cost money. They do. The ripoff is paying for being told you're getting an agent when you're just actually getting a chatbot, and the agent should cost this and the chatbot should cost this, but they're charging you for this. And that's the gut check that we want to train your gut on, right? The price should be able to match what it does, not what it's called. And if it only talks, you pay talkie money, right? If it does, you got to pay does money. You got to pay functional money,
right?
Right.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah, and you know, like, just to give a little insight into that too, like with an AI agent, it's not just as easy as walking into a business and saying, let's plug it in here, plug it in here, plug it in here. Like, the builder needs to understand your workflow, where your files are stored, where's all the training material, and gathering that up and then feeding it to it. There's a good amount of upfront work there to really embed a true AI agent in your company. It is an employee just like anybody else, and it needs to be properly trained and properly, built up so it can do the things you need it to do.
Once upon a time, we looked at a CRM, a customer resource management software so I'm in a martial art industry. The CRM that was huge at that time, like 10 years ago, was a general fitness or fitness studio type CRM. So we looked at that. It had a very robust inventory and had the ability to schedule classes out. The problem was, it didn't do the martial art things we needed the martial art things to do. So generic tool, we really needed, obviously, again, 10 years ago, these didn't exist, right. But we needed something that was kind of built specifically for our industry because it was that standalone from the largest umbrella. Yeah, martial arts certainly falls under a fitness umbrella, generically speaking. Right. It's not, but either way. And so we had to lean into the specificity, and that's what the agent is. Even more, many steps further. You want it to be for literally your business, means you have to train it and expect that training around your business, and that does get pricey.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's talk a little bit about some red flags in the pitch. So just, again, some bullet points so you can kind of sniff test somebody that you might be talking to, or Uncle Johnny at the dinner table, does he really know what he's doing, right? So, it runs on AI. It runs on AI, with nothing else after it, no explanation beyond that, right? So push for what it actually does in your business, right? Now. Typically, if they don't really have something real to show, not the product working, not their own setup, not a client setup, just slides in a roadmap, that's probably the biggest red flag there is, right? A custom builder not having your finished thing yet, that's normal. Having nothing running anywhere is definitely not normal.
No. Can't tell you which of the tools it'll connect to. An agent's whole value is the connections, right? Vague on that means they're likely unfamiliar with the tools. That's not something you want.
No.
Right?
You can have somebody that I'm not going to pick on, well, I am going to pick on the youth, right? Like, so there's a lot of people out there that are coming out of high school and they're learning AI, and they try to go into a business and say, I can put AI in your business, but they've never run a business, they've never worked in a business, or any of that, right? They're not going to be familiar with Google Drive, or, okay, that's probably oversimplifying. They probably know Google Drive, but like the CRMs that you work with, like I can rattle off 10 off the top of my head, right? So like somebody that understands business in general, or whether it's your business specifically, or has some insight into how businesses are run, how businesses are organized.
Next red flag, it's fully autonomous. Said like this is a feature. For most small business jobs, no human overwatch, no human override. That's a bug, guys. That's not a brag. You want a leash on this system, on this tool.
Yeah, absolutely. And if it can't explain, or if they can't explain where it's getting its answers from, if it'll quote your prices and policies, it needs to pull from your real documents, not make them up. So back in episode 6, where we talked about the hallucinations in the AI hallucination episode, if they can't answer this and tell you where it's pulling from, it's going to invent things for your customers. So bad, very bad, and can cost you some dollars.
Next red flag, lock in, long contract, and worst of all, your data is trapped inside their platform with no super clean, understood way to get it out. One of the things that's very important in my industry is your data is your data. And same in our industry, your data is your data. I was recently looking at a new CRM, and he was talking about, a lot of people are annoyed with my current one, talking about getting out, and he says, we know they're a little bit of a bear in terms of giving you your data. Like, that should never be the case. Right. It's yours. These are your clients. So really be careful before handing them the keys to your business before you've ever even really seen it work.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so we're gonna go through kind of like a buyer's checklist. So when you're talking to an AI company, if it's not ours, and why are you making bad choices? But if you're talking to another AI company, right? We want to give you these keys and approach this in this order, right? So the first one, do I need this to talk? Or do I need it to do stuff? And that's going to decide right up front. Is it going to be a chatbot? Is it going to be an assistant or an agent? And that's going to really be the biggest driver for cost.
Number 2, show me something real and working live right now in front of me. Right? That's a question you should ask. They should be able to provide. The product itself, if it's a pre-built or if you have your own system, like I don't mind looking at another business's system that was built because that tells me you can build. Or a client's, which is fine too. If you are making mine custom, that's probably my most preferred. But again, if you built it custom for your business, cool, it tells me that you can, checks that box for me.
Yeah. Number 3, so what exactly does it connect to in my business, right? So you want to make sure if somebody's able to build something for your business, it connects to all of the tools that you needed to connect to. And I'm 95% sure that just about every tool or every piece of software in your business can connect to AI in some fashion, right? So whether it's through an API connection, an MCP connection, or leveraging a third-party translation software like Zapier, N8N, Make, or something like that.
Number 4, when it gets something wrong, who's on the hook? And if so, how do I catch it? Remember that Air Canada example we gave a few episodes back and hallucinations? You own what your bot says. You're responsible for it. So just again, we talked about before, like I want a leash on this thing.
What's the least access it needs to do the job? And start there. So don't give it the keys to everything. If all it needs is read permissions from your calendar, don't give it the ability to write to your calendar. So find out what the job is that you need it to do and just give it enough permissions to be able to do that task.
Next one to ask. Where does it get its answers? Are these my real documents or its imagination? And the big talk on this one is for business owners, just know that this is huge, vital, and probably laborious, both from whoever you contract with and you, unless you've been awesome about your documentation up to that point in time. My business, 20 years, we have different iterations and variations of documents, and none of them are up to date in the last, I don't know, we'll say 26 years, right? About 6 years. So I have had to put a huge amount of labor into getting that updated.
Yeah. And last one is, can I start small, measure it, and then bail out if it's flopping? So if their only option is, no, you need to buy everything in the kitchen sink all at once up front, that's a big red flag. Everything that AI can do, it's just like an employee. You can take a small chunk off of whatever that workload is and give it to one person. You can do the same thing with AI, and somebody worth their salt should be building it in that fashion. It's modular and just does the thing over here. And then once it's proved, you can have it pick up and do all the rest.
All right, you ready for the BAS risk rating? I apologize in advance. This one runs low green color all the way to high red color because the real risk is the purchase, right? Your potential expense. The tech itself ranges from totally harmless, like a basic chatbot, to serious, an agent with keys to the kingdom, right? Same as we've been saying all series. But the real risk, the real concern is, in this episode, is about the buying decision that we're trying to educate you on. This is where the money leaks out of your business, right? So are you overpaying? Are you under delivering? Are they under delivering? Are they charging you for something that doesn't really exist? Overpay for a mislabeled bot or get handed an autonomous agent with too much access on day one. And the tech's never really the problem. The purchase was. You made an incorrect purchase.
Yeah, and that's why run that checklist that we just gave you. Ask those questions and make them prove it. Start small, and that's pretty much your whole defense here. And so if you do that, low risk.
Right.
If you buy for the buzzword, you're definitely in the red there. So don't do that. Make better choices.
I will frequently listen to YouTube videos on new topics, and I honestly am like, there's a term in here I missed. So I'm just gonna run a quick short one here for you guys. 3 terms. Chatbot talks off of a script. Okay, if you want 1, press 1. If you want 2, press 2, right? An assistant talks intelligently because you have trained it. The agent is the thing that does the work. It actually can press buttons and schedule things, and that is a huge difference. The problem is the word on the invoice that you're getting paid for or charging for, it's the least reliable part. Agent is the capitalized buzzword that sells right now. So absolutely everything we've talked about in this video gets called an agent, and it's how we as small business owners who don't know what's happening either get overpaid or underdelivered. So
yeah, and ultimately, right, that one question settles it. Show me something real and working live. The product itself, or a system you've already built for yourself, or something you've built for a client, and they either can show you or they can't.
Right. Could you trust the label on the pitch deck? Yeah, maybe. Should you? I don't, right? Show it to me. Make them prove it that it does the thing before you pay for the thing. Yeah. We've watched people get sold solutions for our combined 40 years of running businesses. The tech has changed. The game, there's no real change in the game, right? The owner who asks to show me live instead of just buying a buzzword is generally the one who comes out ahead. Be that savvy and educated owner by watching our video series.
That's right.
That's why we're making it for you guys.
That's right. Next episode is prompt engineering.
I'm excited about this one.
Yeah. So how the way you talk to AI completely changes what you get back from it, and why most owners are leaving a lot of those best results on the table. They don't understand how to talk to AI, and I hear this all the time. I've heard about AI, I downloaded ChatGPT or I downloaded Claude, I asked it a couple questions and it gave me a crap response and it wasn't specific, or it didn't make the thing like I wanted it to make. And my response is, well, how'd you ask that question? Is it trained on does it know about you? Does it have memory about you? And a lot of times they're like, ooh, what's that? Right? And ultimately that's what we're going to get into next episode, is the proper way to talk to your AI to get better results back.
Are you, like us, a small business owner and you're starting to build? We have a free school community, link is down below in the description, where the video series, we're building educational tools in there for you guys. We're going to be standing up weekly video calls on the stuff that we're working on, so people can answer questions for you guys as well. We're excited about that and the process growing there.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, don't forget on YouTube, subscribe and hit the bell down at the bottom so you get notified. We release episodes every single week and you don't want to miss one. Learn about AI with us.
We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks. See ya.